You're going to want to listen to this message today if your goal is to double down on advancing your career this year. Today, I'm diving into the topic of the 5 game-changing strategies to career advancement. Whether you're climbing the corporate ladder or launching your entrepreneurial dream or have this purpose deep inside of you to start your own nonprofit to bring about social change, this episode is tailored specifically for you. So get your notepad because we are about to unlock the secrets of lasting success. Welcome back to my channel, all you legacy builders. I'm Miles Threat, and I help leaders build a lasting legacy no matter where they're at in their leadership journey. Hey, do me a favor, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel to join this community of legacy builders. Together, we're shaping a future that will impact our lives and the lives of those around us. All right, let's get down to business. The path to career advancement isn't as clear-cut as it should be. And maybe you have experienced some bumps along the way. Well, guess what? Today, I'm going to equip you with some strategies that will empower you and help propel your career forward if you just apply them as you seek to grow your career. So the first strategy for career advancement is really easy. It is branding yourself, building your own personal brand around your authentic self. That's right. It is about you, your skills, your abilities, your voice, your ideas. You being you will make you stand out more than anything else. You see? There's no one else like you. There's no other voice like your voice. I know there's a lot of great speakers out there. There's a lot of great leaders out there. You probably read some good books. You probably listened to some great podcasts. You probably want to emulate some leaders that you look up to. And I imagine you've learned great things from them. And I think that's really good. But if you don't learn to be yourself and brand yourself as you are, then your career is going to stay right where it's at. So you be you. And if your values and who you are doesn't line up in your present environment, then you need to find a new environment. You need to get out ASAP as fast as you can so that you can be working somewhere that represents who you really are, so you can be your authentic self, so you can brand yourself in a way that helps you advance. In today's digital world, you need to be documenting your journey in your career. You need to take advantage of the different platforms we have to build your brand image around yourself. I know that organization you represent or working for, they probably have you liking their stuff, promoting their stuff on LinkedIn and other platforms. If you are not promoting yourself, you are falling behind. If you are not putting content out there that shows you as a thought leader, as an expert in your field, you are not taking advantage of an opportunity to brand yourself and create opportunities for yourself to be seen as an expert. You are that expert. You chose this field. You studied. Hopefully you've prepared. You need to document your journey. I imagine that organization you're working for or working with, they have their own branded content out there somewhere. And they're probably paying some people to promote their brand for them. Well, guess what? The world of marketing is changing and micro-influencers are being hired to promote brands and they're getting paid for it. So what's stopping you? Yes, you can bring in that paycheck and that W-2 from that company, but you can also become a micro-influencer for them if you have the right number of subscribers. You have the right number of followers. If you have 10,000 or more followers, you can be that micro-influencer. Use that opportunity. Promote yourself and build your own brand. And not only are you using your platform to promote you as a thought leader and expert, but you also become an influencer for that brand as well. Finally, just add value by crafting a compelling narrative that showcases your unique skills, strengths, and solve some big problems. problems. You see, if you consistently add value and you solve some big problems by under-promising and over-delivering, you're going to establish yourself as a unique authority in your field. You see, it really pays to solve big problems, but you're going to have to take some risk. You're going to have to be willing to do some extra work. You're going to have to be willing to take on some of those projects and volunteer to do them. You're going to have to be willing to do some things behind the scene that other people don't see, so they can see the results later on, to show them that you can solve those big problems. So if you want to build a brand image that you solve problems, then be willing to put in that extra work. And the reality is, if you add an extra 10%, just an extra 10% on that project, you tweak something just a little bit, be a little bit more innovative in it, that little bit of extra effort is going to make a big difference in the brand image you build for yourself. So be willing to do that and do it behind the scenes, and don't worry about people watching you and see them. Show it to them later. Deliver it to them on time and with that new great idea, because you invested more time, you spent more time on it, and you came up with a creative idea, with a solution that they can implement and bring about change. So my challenge is to you: what problem do you see in your industry, in your work, in your desire to start your nonprofit, or that entrepreneurial dream that you have, or maybe it's that corner office that you're looking at and you see a problem in your industry? I challenge you to step out and take a risk and come up with a solution, and be willing to put in the extra work to do it. Next up, strategy number 2 is network like a ninja. Build meaningful connections with real people. Now, I'm not talking about just passing out business cards or giving somebody your email address or phone number. I'm talking about creating authentic connections with people. And it can be done virtually. And the nice thing is, it can also be done in person again as well. And one of the best things that you can do in networking is give back, and there again, add value to other people. That professional community you used to be involved in, have you gotten back involved in it lately? Have you attended an event recently where you tried to connect with people inside that event? Sometimes you need to kind of go old school with this and meet new people, shake hands, look in their eyes and their face, and get to know them. Sometimes you need to give back to them in certain ways. Offer them some kind of practical help or insight, or help them connect with somebody else. Another step you could take is by paying to connect with the right people. And that might mean you actually have to pay to join a mastermind somewhere, or a group somewhere that you would connect with people at a higher level, and that through those connections that you make inside that group, you build a new network. Yeah, I know you had to pay some money out of your pocket to make it happen, but you never know what door that might open for you. And that investment that you make is an investment in yourself, because the reality is, you're going to be able to gain some new insight and new learning from that experience as well. Finally, do some content collaboration with other thought leaders or experts in your field. Maybe you got some connections out there somewhere that are willing to co-author an article or a book or a chapter with you in some book. Maybe you could do a webinar with someone else in your field. It also could be you try to get on somebody's podcast and brand yourself and grow your expertise that way, and create that network in that group and those connections that way. If you're really brave, host your own event. You can do it virtually online, or maybe you get really creative and you come up with a great idea and you create that live event, not only for yourself, but those people that sign up. And who knows, you might even make a little bit of money off of it. Strategy number 3 is embrace lifelong learning. Did you know that 42% of college graduates never read another book again? When was the last time you read a book? To me, I can't fathom that. They also say 37% of high school students never crack open a book ever again. Hell, right now, close to 44% of American high school students graduate illiterate. Can't pass a common reading comprehension test. Now, I'm not going to sit here and slam our education system, but if you haven't read a book in a while, it's the time that you went out and read one. Maybe you're sitting there saying, well, Miles, reading ain't my thing. Well, if it's not, sign up for Audible. Download a book from Spotify. Listen to a book on YouTube. There's so many opportunities for you to learn digitally that your commute, your drive, your car can become your own personal development time when you're alone or even when you're with your family or someone. Not only can you listen to books, but you can listen to podcasts. You can listen to YouTube channels. You can sign up for online courses. You can take them for free. You can pay for them. You could go back to school if you wanted to. You see, if you're not keeping up with the latest trends in your industry, then you're falling behind. You need to be studying those things and trying to learn what is happening in your industry and what's projected to change. Look at what AI is doing for us, and how can you take advantage of that right now for yourself? It's something I use on a regular basis. And I'm learning more and more how to use it to my advantage. You see, if you really want to set yourself apart, you really got to be willing to do the things that other people aren't willing to do. And that might mean you go sign up for that webinar, or you go sign up for that class, or maybe you join that mastermind with those like-minded people and learn from them as well. It could be time that you go hire you a coach to help you advance at this point in time in your career. See, lifelong learning is something that you must require of yourself. It takes discipline and it takes time and commitment. The nice thing is, in our digital age, your gym workouts could be that time that you use it in. Your commute could be that time that you use it in. You doing your extracurricular activities or maybe some of the hobbies that you enjoy and it allows you to listen to things, that could also become your time for personal development as well. You see, in a rapidly changing world, complacency is going to keep you where you're at. So if you want to advance, don't be complacent. Take advantage of every opportunity that you have and do some of those things that will stretch you, and spend some time doing some of those things that you enjoy as far as learning is concerned. The fourth strategy is raise your hand. That's right. Raise that hand and volunteer. Volunteer for those leadership opportunities, or volunteer for that work that helps you show off your skills. Volunteer for something that helps you stretch yourself at the same time. I remember when, after I left my nonprofit work and moved back to the U.S., I was left with the wonderful task of finding a job in the corporate world. And I was trying to figure out, how can I take all my skills and abilities that I learned in the nonprofit world and make them transferable into the corporate world. And I had a friend that I reached out to in church who was an HR leader at a large company locally that offered to mentor me and coach me in my interviewing skills as well. He sat down and talked to me about, as I went into this interview process, as I went into this job hunting process, first thing he told me was, raise your hand. Raise your hand and volunteer for those opportunities to show off your skills. And I took it to heart. And I did that. And guess what? I still do it today. I raise my hand to show off my skills. Sometimes I raise my hand for myself to show off my skills to others so that I can create opportunities for myself. Besides just raising your hand, raise your voice and speak up and share your ideas. By sharing your ideas, you're going to create an opportunity to be noticed and to be seen as a thought leader as well. Humility is great, but if you don't toot your horn once in a while and promote yourself, then you're going to stay right where you're at. So don't let humility hold you back. Don't let fear hold you back. Raise your hand, step out, and take that risk. So here's the challenge for you. Raise your hand and take a risk. Volunteer for that project or activity. Prove and show off your skills. Just raise your hand and take a risk on yourself. Last but not least, fifth strategy is finding your high performance balance. Believe me, I believe in going hard and going after those things that you care about, that you dream about, that you want to make happen for yourself. And there are going to be times life is going to be unbalanced and you're going to need to color outside the lines. You see, success isn't just about climbing that corporate ladder or having a successful business, or launching that nonprofit that brings about huge social change. Those are great things. And if you did all those things and you didn't find fulfillment in all facets of life, then really and truly you've missed the mark. You've got people in your life that you care about, and you want to make an impact on them just as much as you want to make an impact in your work your business, or your nonprofit. But to do that, we got to find balance. Now, that doesn't mean that everything's going to always be in balance. Yes, there's going to be times that we're going to color outside the lines. There's going to be times that we are going to be unbalanced. I know that. That's a reality. But how can we perform at a high level and do our best to maintain that balance? Well, here's some tips for you. See, finding that balance involves prioritizing your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. You see, if you want to outperform those people around you and you want to be noticed by others for your accomplishments, then you're going to have to take care of yourself. You're going to have to focus and make sure you get adequate sleep. And for some people, that might be 6 hours. For others, it could be 8. But on average, it is 7 to 8 hours. I know for myself, I have to get that 7 to 8 hours. 7's the minimal. I prefer 8. And I know if I operate on 6 hours or less for 2 days in a row, then I know that my performance is not going to be the best. And I also know that I'll be a grumpy asshole. So for me, I have to get that 7 or 8 hours so I can perform at a higher level. Next, get outside and exercise. Get outdoors, go for a walk, go for a run, play your favorite sport, put the phone away, and get outside to clear your head. Go to the gym, lift some weights at home. Include that strength training because it is beneficial for your long-term health. Just like walking is beneficial for your long-term health. Get to moving. For me, that means I'm walking 3 times a week and I'm in the gym 3 times a week lifting. There's one other day of the week that I'm going to be active in some way, shape, or form. Playing golf, it might mean I go out and work in my yard and garden and mow the grass, push the lawnmower, something like that, that I am physically active doing that I enjoy. Might also be kayaking or swimming. It's about that time of year. Another thing for your physical health is put yourself on a healthy eating plan. I'm not going to sit here and promote a certain specific diet. There's people that you can go to get that help from. I would highly encourage you to eat healthy. Eat whole foods. Eat where you're eating healthy 80% of the time, and then enjoy the things that you enjoy 20% of the time. So that means you're having close to 2 cheat meals a week, okay? And the rest of the time, you're buying healthy foods or prepping healthy foods, or if you signed up for some healthy foods to be delivered to your house. Whatever it takes for you to eat healthy, you put those things in place for yourself and plan your life around it. And then 20% of the time, enjoy that beer, enjoy that pizza, enjoy that dessert. Whatever it is that you enjoy it. Now, if you want to be focused for a while and go 90-10, do that and get super healthy for a while. And then you fluctuate back. But be consistent about it. And consistency isn't being 100% all the time. Consistency is doing the best you can this day to reach that goal. I would also challenge you to spend some time fasting as well. Fasting from food completely and drinking water, or fasting from sugar or sweets in general or alcohol for a certain period of time as well. That would be good for your long-term health. Finally, meditate to care for your soul. Set aside time in your schedule where you can spend time in prayer and meditation and reading or listening to inspirational stuff that helps you spiritually. For me, that's the Bible, that's prayer, that's talking to God. And if that's you and that's what you do, great. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you're a Muslim, but you still pray. You still read the Quran. Or maybe you just classify yourself as spiritual and you spend your time meditating and deep breathing and connecting with your higher power. Do those things for yourself. Care for your soul it also helps you mentally, it helps you focus. And the nice thing is that as the day goes by and you're dealing with stress and dealing with other things, you can pause for a moment and say that prayer or do that meditation to get yourself centered and focused so you continue to perform at a high level for yourself that day. And there you have it, all you legacy builders. 5 game-changing strategies to supercharge your career advancement journey. But the journey doesn't end there. Smash that like button and subscribe to my channel if you want to continue this journey with me. Also, look down in the description below. I have a link for an infographic with tips and insights on how you can advance your career this year. Remember, your legacy starts now.